M N O, something like that, right? First two characters are same in both the string, but now these two are different, right? So what is the ASCII value of L that will be considered? ASCII value of M, right? And the difference between these two will be the result of this operation, right? If it is greater than 0, then str1 is greater than str2. If it is less than 0, that means str2 is greater than str1. So you can give an example and you can try to explain this function. I hope I have cleared your doubts. Then we have one function str length, right? It will help me to find the length of the string that I am passing it as an argument. Now since it is going to give me one length, so I need one variable to store the length of the result that I am given by strlen. So these are the basic functions that are available in C. Other functions are also there, strrev, string reverse, right? Then you have str and cmp, right? This way you can discuss some other functions also if your question demands, right? Now let us see one program. Okay. One paper was asking this program, previous paper only. You have to print the pattern, right? So 1 1 3 1 3 5 1 3 5 7. This is the pattern I have to print. Now we must first try to understand what logic I can use for printing this pattern, right? Now as I have discussed previously, sometimes for how many lines I have to print, n is used to store the number of lines, right? I have to take value from the user. For each line I am going to use I variable, right? And for each column I am going to use j variable. Now I must try to find some relationship if possible in the given pattern, and also you have to try to understand how many symbols are required in each line. In first line 1 symbol, second line 2 symbols, third line 3 symbols. So number of symbols are dependent on the line number. Now the symbols that are printed, now we have to try to understand which symbols are printed. In first line it is printing only 1, in second line it is printing 1 and 3, in third line it is printing 1 3 5. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. We are trying to find some pattern if possible. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7, right? So now we have to try to make the logic. Again, as you know, we have rows and we have columns. So we need nested loop. Outer loop will require for I is equal to 1. How many lines I have to go? I have to go till n, which user is going to input I plus plus. I hope this is clear. For each row, that is why I need I less than equal to n. Now for j equal to, again j has to go from 1 2 3 4, right? So j equal to 1, but in each line how much it has to go? For first line it has 1 symbol, second line it has, so it tempts us that we can take j is less than equal to I, right? But now if I am taking j is less than equal to I, see this portion intentionally I am not explaining now. I wish to first clarify what should be written in the condition part, because this is the main thing that you have to understand, we have to understand, right? I want to print first as 1, then I want to print 1 and 3. So printf j will just give me 1 2. So my work is not satisfied. If I am saying j printf j plus 2, will it work? Try to find such situation. Will it work or will it not work? Then you can also think by taking this kind of logic. If j modulo 2 not equal to 0, printf %d j, right? Now first time j is equal to 1, 1 modulo 2 is not equal to 0, right? So it will print 1, yeah, okay. Now as you know, we need to go to the new line, right, backslash n. I will go to the new line. Okay, now first time it is printing 1. Now j becomes 2. I have not yet specified the condition. For example, it goes inside, then it is not equal to 0, so it will not go here. J becomes 3, then condition is true, right, so it will go here. So it will print 3, but I don't want here 3 now. I want in the next line, right? So what condition I should use here? I can use something like that. See, again I am repeating the same thing. This is not the only solution to a given problem. You may have different logic for different problems or for the same problems. I into 2 j plus plus, right? Now try to understand how I can put this condition. You may have other condition also. First time I want only one symbol. Second time, if I am saying j, if I am writing here j is equal to j plus 2 in increment part, so what will happen? First time j will become 1, then it becomes 3. j plus 2 करेंगे तो 3 हो जाएगा, राइट? तो फर्स्ट 2 लाइन में तो आ जाएगा, लेकिन क्या होगा जब 5 होगा तो i की वैल्यू 3 है, तो आप j लेस देन इक्वल टू i लिखोगे तो कंडीशन फॉल्स हो जाएगी, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दिस लाइन विल नॉट बी प्रिंटेड. Okay, so we need to make some other logic. So what I have thought was I into 2. So what it makes? First time 1 into 2, that is 2, then 2 into 2, that is 4, 3 into 2, that is 6. Okay, you can trace this way, I, j, okay, and I multiply by 2. I starts from 1, condition is true. Here condition is true, so it comes inside. J starts from 1, j is less than equal to I into 2. What is the value of I into 2? That is 2, right? Now the condition is true, it is less than equal to, so it is true. So if j modulo 2, what is the value of j? 1. 1 modulo 2, is it equal to 0? No, it is not equal to 0. Yes, j modulo 2, that is 1 modulo 2. What you will get? It is not equal to 0. So I am printing 1. So I will get 1 here, right? Now j becomes 1. 2. It is added this way. So now what it will check? 2 is less than equal to I into 2. What is I into 2? What is I into 2? 2. So try to understand which condition I have to put here so that I can arrive at this solution, right? Now see what happens when I run this program. If I am saying 5, I am getting 1, 3, 5. I am getting it the way I want. Now what was the main logic over here? I started with I equal to 1, I less than equal to n, I plus plus. Then in j loop, j equal to 1, j is less than equal to I into 2 and j plus plus. For each j value, I am trying to divide by modulo by 2 and check for equality with 0. Now see, if j is, I want to print all the odd values, right? See, all odd values are needed to be printed. So this is actually the logic of odd value, right? So if I am not going to use this, then what will happen? 1, 1, 2, 3, it will print like this. Okay, so this is main part in your logic. Try to understand it once again. Now see, here I am explaining once again. I am taking 3 variables I, j, n. N for number of rows. Then I am taking value from the user for number of rows. Then I need 2 loops to move, outer loop and inner loop. For each row I need outer loop, for each row individual column I need internal loop. That loop I will start from 1 and it should check this condition. I multiply by 2 because I want to print odd values, right, using j. I don't want to use some other variable. I can also go with another option, like I take k is equal to 0 and print here k. Here I will do k equal to k plus 1, then k plus 2 every time, right? So I can print k here. If I am starting k with 1, then I can go for k plus 2. Even that way, then I can have here j less than equal to I, and here I will do one thing, print value of k. No need of this. You will just do k plus 2, right? K plus 2. In that way also you can solve this problem. So you try to see, use the variables as minimum as possible. If I am using k, again new variable is required, right? So try to understand the logic of this program. It will give me result as given below. I hope this program is clear to you. The important thing is j less than equal to I into 2, and inside this loop you are checking whether j modulo 2 is not equal to 0. It should not be equal to 0. Then only it will print the value of j. Now let us take another program. Swapping of two elements using pointer variables. Now, as we all know, what are pointer variables? Variables which store the addresses of another variable, right? So, if I have any pointer variable integer star ptr, right, and one more variable as integer a, what I will do? Ptr is equal to ampersand a. This line will store the address of variable a into ptr. I hope this is clear. Now what is my program? Swapping two values. That means if I have a equal to 5 initially and b equal to 10, solution I want is b equal to 10 and a equal to 5. Right? Now when you want to swap two values using pointers, we have to use the concept of call by reference. Call by reference. Now we have to make one function for this. So I will make swap as one function. I will have one pointer variable, right, integer star s, integer star m, for example, and if that function is returning me any value, then I should have some return value. If it is not returning me any value, then I can have void, right? Now what is my purpose? I want to change this values and it should be reflected in the calling function also. So when you want something to be reflected, it should be using call by reference mechanism. Right. So what happens here? How to do? Integer, I am taking one temp variable to store temporary one value. Temp is equal to star s, right? Star s is equal to, I am interchanging both the values, star m. Star m is equal to temp, right? This is the logic for swapping of two values. You may have another logic also, right? Now try to understand one thing. Why I need to use star? When I am simply using s, it is giving me address. When I want to access the value which is stored at that address, I need to put this indirection operator before it, right? So it will tell value at the address pointed by s. I hope this is clear. Now this is my function. How to use it in main? I have void main, right? I am going to read two values from user. I am not writing scanf. It is understood now, right? Now I will call this function. Before that I will print the values of a and b and check. Then I will call this function. What I will pass over here? What I should pass over here? If I pass a and b, then it will show me an error because the receiving parameters are of pointer type. So when you have pointer, right, you have to do something like this. Okay, so you are going to pass as a reference. So this line will be actually understood as integer star s is equal to ampersand a. Now the variable which was a inside main would be accessed, the same memory would be accessed by this function. Why? Through this pointer, right? So when you pass it through reference, the same memory location would be accessed. It is pointed by s and it is also named as a by main, right? So after this function has been performed, when you print the value of a and b, you will get the interchange value. I hope this logic is clear to you. When you are using concept of call by reference, whatever changes you are going to make within that function to those variables, they are going to be reflected in main function also, yeah, calling function also. And to pass the parameters, if the receiving parameter is of pointer type, pass it by address, okay? And if you are simply passing here, instead of star s, it was simply integer s comma integer m, then it is not a concept call by value. It is not a concept call by reference. It is call by value. So you will call simply like this, swap a comma b. Now in that case, what happens? If you have written some logic using s and m over here, the changes you are making in s and m will not be reflected when you are using over here, right? So from this program itself, you have understood two concepts, call by value and call by reference. Many papers this question was asked, explain the concept of call by value and call by reference. So try to explain it this way, that call by value, when any arguments are passed, the copy of that value will be given to the called function, right? And it is working on a different memory location. So whatever changes that you will do inside that function will not be reflected back. In other case, when you are doing with call by reference, you are passing the reference or address of that variable. So the called function is going to work on actual memory location. So whatever changes you will do, that will be reflected in your calling function, right? So let us run this program and see. Now here I have used a different logic. Star s is equal to star s plus star t, right? So after performing this, next step is star t is equal to star s minus star t. Again next logic after that is this. Okay, you can try this at your end and see if you can run. Our aim was to swap two values. One value is 45, another value is 67. The values before swap were a equal to 45 and b equal to 67. After swapping, you got the values interchange, right? So first we have to understand what changes we want in the value, whether it should be a permanent change or it is just for the sake of computation. Now there was one program, write a C program to determine a given number is odd or even. Print the following message, number is even or number is odd. But there were two parts in this question, with using and without using else, right? So it is a simple logic program, you all know it, but when you are writing this paper, you get confused, okay, what to do with else and without else. So first part you have to write using else and without using else, and second part you have to write with else. So in that case what you can do, if number modulo 2 equal to 0, then you have to print the message, given message, right? Again you check, if number modulo 2 is not equal to 0, print the given message, that is odd. So this is when you are not using if else concept, right? And if you are using else concept, no need to write like this line, just write else. I hope I am clear with this. Okay, so in this question please don't get confused what to do. You have to write both parts and specify, okay, this was like sub question, so you specify sub question 1, sub question 2, right? Properly specify that you are answering for this sub question in the same program.